We'd like to welcome Karl Vilips, winner of the 2025 Puerto Rico Open, to the Media Center here. Karl, congratulations on the win. I guess we'd like to open it up, just your emotions over the last 45 minutes since you won.
Just trying to soak it all in at the moment. I don't know, just thinking ahead to next week already. Players, I'm getting ready for it, but I don't know, it's been a bit busy, but I'm sure when I'm in my hotel room later, I'll be thinking about some things.
You just mentioned Players' Championship. In addition to that, you get into the PGA Championship this year, as well as a 2-year exemption on the PGA Tour. How much of that was on your mind coming into the day as the 54-hole solo leader?
Last night, that was about the only thing on my mind, was everything that comes with a victory here. Had a hard time getting to sleep, but then on the course, it was just staying in the present, doing what I can do. And I think I just did a really good job of that, because it is tough to not think about everything, but once I hit that wedge close on 18, those thoughts definitely started flowing in my head.
Throughout your whole round, you were steadily in the lead. At one point, Rasmus jumped. Can you talk about the day-to-day? How often did you look at the leaderboard? I guess the mentality, did it shift at all when you were seeing the lead kind of close there?
I think the front nine was pretty steady, because no one was really pushing me. And I knew that the guys in my group were in second and third. And then when I checked the leaderboard after 12T, I saw Rasmus was pushing a little bit, and I made an unforced error there. But, next leaderboard that you could see was on 14, so I just, had to get somewhat aggressive, make a couple birdies, not only to retake that lead, but also, try and give myself a cushion. So I was definitely watching it every time I was able to get a chance to look at the leaderboard. What
were your emotions walking up to the 18 green, knowing that, you just had a putt there to win it?
I was just trying to stay in the present as best as I could, not think about it, because the job was not finished. And I know it sounds super cliche, but you just gotta, until that last putt drops, you gotta just do everything you can to just be in the moment. But yeah, definitely I think walking up, it was like, okay, just one more good putt and you're a PGA Tour champion. And that's all it took.
This is only your 4th start on tour, 3rd this season. When do you think it'll sink in that you are a PGA Tour champion this quickly into your career?
Probably tonight, when I'm going through all my messages. I'm a little overwhelmed by the support that I've been getting. It's just so special that I have so many friends that are reaching out. And I think, once I start responding to those, call a couple of friends, I think that's when it'll start kicking in.
You had success at an amateur, you had success in college, won on Korn Ferry Tour this year, and now winning here in the 4th start. Does any of this surprise you that it's happening so quickly?
If you told me less than a year ago when I was at Stanford that I'd be a PGA Tour winner at this point in my career, I think I'd be a little surprised. But I think I've just been so true to the process and everything that my team has me doing that, it shouldn't be a surprise when I make the putt on the last hole. But, we got to keep moving forward and try to win at an even higher level.
You mentioned Players' Championship earlier, now living in Jacksonville. Can you talk a little bit about the excitement going into next week at TPC Sawgrass?
I'm just excited to sleep in my own bed, cook my own meals, be with my roommates. It's going to be a lot of fun. Never really had a chance to do like a home tournament. I'm obviously just moving there in November. I've played the course a bunch. It's been looking really good. I'm sure, last time I played it was 3 weeks ago. So I'm sure by now that it's in pristine shape. And I'm really excited. That was the big goal. I wanted to get into the Players, and I knew that I had to win this week to do it. And it's a dream come true to be able to play in that tournament.
We'll open up the questions here in just a second. Can you talk a little bit about entering today with the solo lead? Were there nerves? Is that something that you usually go through? Or are you a little bit nervous coming into the round, or do you try your best to treat it as a normal round?
Nerves are, kind of the night before. It's every scenario running through your head. It's tough to fall asleep. I think on the course and on warm-up, it's just go out and play the golf that I've been playing. I'll give myself plenty of opportunities, and if I make enough putts, I think I'll, at the end of the day, find myself in contention and a chance to win, and it's kind of exactly what happened.
Any questions right here?
¿Hay preguntas de los compañeros? El vocero. El cuarto es pequeño, puedes hacer tu pregunta.
Thank you. Sorry, who? Oh. Oh, it's awesome. I mean, it's my first time here. When I got onto property at the Grand Hyatt early in the week on Monday, I was pretty blown away by the beach. That's the first thing I did. I went to the beach. And it's special. I mean, you feel the love on the golf course with all the fans. You can tell that they really enjoy this tournament and that it's special to them. And we really couldn't have asked for better weather throughout the whole week. So it's special. I mean, first time here, certainly won't be my last. And to get the win here is really cool. Well, I signed it 3 weeks ago, so not too long since a Sunday Red player has gotten a win. I think it's really special. I think it shows me that there's a reason why they chose me to represent their brand, and I'm just really happy to be able to do it in a way that's, as myself. So it's really cool, and I know everyone on the Sunday Red team is going to be super happy. And you got to look good to play good. So yeah, it's really cool. Yeah, it was tough because I got on my phone after the round and I was scrolling through like who was texting me, and I think I got one from a random number. It called me as well, and then there was a voicemail saying it's Tiger, and I couldn't like process it in the moment. I was just trying to, I'll get back to that later, but that's pretty cool.
I can call him back for you.
While we're on the topic, we were talking about players before with Sunday Red now. Growing up, obviously he was a Stanford guy too. What are some of your memories of watching Tiger throughout his career, and then specifically Players Championship?
I mean, you just can't forget that putt on 17. Better than most. I mean, you got that one. Every time I went to a tournament in college, we were always playing the coverage from, I think, 2012. Not sure when him and Lingworth were going at it. And there's so many memories that I have of him. I mean, the first big one is him making that putt at Torrey to force a playoff. Watching documentaries of him, studying to go to Stanford, and then his USM highlights. There's so many things that I've watched of him that, I just kind of, try and do what he does. Study hard, attend a good school, and obviously, hard work's going to pay off in the end. But he's been such a huge influence in my golf career.
Yep, go ahead.
Hi, Sara del Valle from Memoria. You were the first golfer to close with such a low score, total score. How do you feel with that, and what were the keys to achieve that?
Yeah, I didn't realize I broke the scoring record by 5. I mean, that's pretty cool. I think it's just the putter got hot this week. I think it's a course where if you're in the fairway, you can take advantage of it, and I just did a pretty good job this week of making sure that at all costs I was in the fairway, and if I did miss, I was on the right side. I think, honestly, the wind, it's a lot like Jacksonville, so as long as you're able to deal with the wind, you should still be able to give yourself plenty of chances, and I just hit it to the right spots. Whenever I got in some trouble, I left it in a good spot. I think I only made 3 bogeys for the week, so that's a big thing for me, just keeping those mistakes off the card, and I felt like had this course pretty figured out at the end.
What was the more difficult thing in the tournament?
Man, I would just say that whole back 9 was pretty tough. You got people chasing you, and you have to hit quality shots. 15 is a pretty tough par 3 with the wind off the left. You got to be able to draw something in there, and 16's not easy into the wind with that back pin, and 17's a long par 3. So I think that whole back 9, it was just having to hit quality shots to give myself looks, and just painting clear pictures, and my caddy was doing a great job of helping me do that.
Thank you.
Thank you.
¿Alguien más tiene preguntas? Adelante.
Hi, my name is Tina from La Verdad Deportiva, and you mentioned earlier
think the wind is a big one. Like I haven't played in too much wind since starting out on the PGA Tour the last 2 weeks. How much downwind, how far it goes downwind versus into the wind. I think, very few tournament reps under my belt. It's good experience with my caddy as well, just figuring out numbers, getting more dialed in as you play more. Also handling the sweat because it's pretty hot and steamy. I think that's something I'd always struggled with in the past, but I think we figured out a way to make sure everything feels dry, and it helps being able to make good committed swings. So the humidity as well as the wind, I think, were two things I'll take away, especially as we enter the hot part of the year. Yep.
And I think we have one more question.
Congratulations on your win. There were a lot of amateurs and college students which participated. And to that note, what advice would you give to young golfers and amateur golfers aspiring to transition from amateur to professional status?
I would say it's no mountain too high. Like, you can turn pro and anything can happen. You just got to get hot at the right time. You got to put in a lot of hard work to win and to compete, and it takes a lot of experience. So I would tell these kids to give it a shot. I mean, you never know what can happen. My last year has been pretty crazy. So I would encourage them that they feel ready to take the next step to do it.
And then a couple more, Karl. Your golf journey has been documented, I think, since you were 7. Playing your entire life up to this point, looking back the last few months, you had to miss a good amount of time because of an injury. How fulfilling is it now being a champion in your 4th start after coming back from that back injury?
Yeah, we put in a lot of hard work. I'm just so proud of my team for giving me the right advice, for pushing me to work through this. Keeping me in a good mental state throughout this whole thing has been huge. You take 2 months off, you all of a sudden think you're going to go out and shoot 85. Like, that's not a joke. So it's nice to see that, 3rd start out, plenty of reps under the belt, just continuously learning week in, week out. It's big. And to see, the reward of that, it's great.
Then you mentioned when we spoke yesterday that you still had some rust there in Mexico that you're feeling had to knock it off. That was only 2 weeks ago. Coming into this week, did you still feel like there was a little bit of rust, or did you think that you were ready to do what you ended up doing?
I thought I was ready to compete this week. I played really nice at Cognizant. I know the result might not look like I did, but felt like I found something with the swing. I just made a few silly mistakes. Putter got a little cold, but I felt like I was swinging it really nice. And even heading into this week, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, I was flushing it. So I was just happy to keep that same swing thought. The feel was very real, and executing under the gun. So hopefully I can carry this over in the players.
I know we've talked about players a couple times now. What's your comfort level at that course?
I'm quite comfortable. I think I played 6 junior players there in the AJGA, and don't think I had a result outside top 10. So I feel pretty good out there. I know it's not the junior players, but I think with the way I'm hitting it now, make good decisions, prep well, I think I could be in for another solid week there.
And then my final question, now with the win under your belt, what are some of the goals that you have for the rest of the season?
I think we had a big jump start into making the Tour Championship. I think that was the big goal to start the year, was to get in that top 30 at the end of the year. And I think there's plenty of golf left to play, but I think it's big being able to get into all of these signature events, majors, the players. I think that's a big jump start to the goal of making the Tour Championship. And obviously I wanted to win this year and knocked it out 3rd week, so we might have to reevaluate some of those a little bit.
Awesome. Congratulations on the win.
Thank you.